Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now, of course, it is World Sleep Day and we are giving away a bed. Thank you so much for everybody who has been involved in ensuring that this peaceful, luxurious show comes to life and hopefully is one that you are going to dream about tomorrow. So don't forget, of course, Advanced Foam is sponsoring this amazing giveaway. So make sure that you save our number and continue to follow the show today because you may be getting some hints as to how you can win this bed. And our amazing bedding this morning is courtesy Miguel Moses, located at Arima, Chaguanas, Frederick Street, Port of Spain, Quartz Megastore, El Socorro, Mucurapa Road, Princess Town, Queen Streets, San Fernando, Sani Grande, Trinity Mall, and Tunapuna, Sangre Grande. And this morning on the show, we have with us none other than poet extraordinaire, among so many other things, Mr. Derron. Sandy, Derron, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you today?
I am good. Not too sleepy, thankfully. But I am happy to have the opportunity to use poetry to celebrate another occasion, actually.
It's beautiful that you can do that. I know we have so much to discuss about what's going on with poetry in Trinidad and Tobago and what's happening with you. But before we get to that, I know that you also have an amazing offering for us this morning for World Sleep Day.
All right, well, allow me to read you a bedtime story.
Okay, and get comfortable one time.
Once upon a time, there was a land where no one could sleep. Not Seattle, nor St. James. Here, everybody dreamed of nothing. So there were no better tomorrows coming. There were no nightmares except the nightmare that always running on E, remember? Nobody could sleep. So no one was happy. You could use the bags under your eye to go inside a Massey. Basic blood pressure was 200/90. Insomnia was more than just a party. It was on your ID. Just imagine the insanity if we all stayed awake. We would sleepwalk to work, wear in pajamas in an office. The boss would be rude to us. Bad words would be the fortress that blocked us from getting the task done. We would not be able to ask one question to the woman in the drive-thru with an extra side of attitude. School children will be frustrated out of their wits, and after school, it would be one set of licks because can you see? Without sleep, we can't see. This would never even be a bedtime story. Men would stay awake after nighttime matrimonial action, massaging their significant others who will still be irate in frustration because there'll be no sleep. Later bedtime for children would always be allowed. The morning show on TTT would always be on now. Politicians will go live for saying off-the-cuff things like women chasing after them for off-the-cuff things. The woman will respond saying, I often cuffed him, and a whole charade will engage that place. It will be awful. Such things can only come from a place where the populace sleep deprived, people's red like weeping eyes, attitudes dread if they dare defy anything I want right now. I out the lights right now. This is no sleep tongue. Probably we could all do with some sleep right now. We have to sleep sometimes. It's easy to stay awake scrolling through timelines or just going online and listening to Trinidad killers' lines. But how much write down you really like? How much write down you could write down until you lie down for life? Maybe we are people just sleep deprived. So like old times, bid everything good night. Like good night camera, and good night prompter, and good night IG, and good night phone screen. Like good night job, like good night love, like good night TTT, like good night this story.
Wow. That was amazing. I got very comfortable there, I have to say. And you spoke on some really key points there as well. That's the beauty of poetry. You're able to comment on issues. And I mean, some of the things, of course, that you mentioned are things that we witness in society on a daily basis because many are sleep deprived. Now, as an artist, a founder, a teacher, and so much more, how do you navigate your life and get that balance with sleep?
I don't. As an artist, it's a bit difficult. Well, my creative process, it happens in the night most of the times. And when I say night, I mean like from 12 a.m. night, go back So sometimes the nights are really long. Then there are rehearsals that usually happen in the night because most of the people you're working with have regular day jobs. So, you have to meet their time in the night. Gigs happen in the night or on the weekend during all your sleep times. So there's always that challenge for artists, for DJs, etc. to get sleep. Like I was watching some of those soca artists during Carnival and I was like, nah, that's what you do, the impossible. Because I just see a post in this party here, and then in this next party that happens in the 3 a.m. time, that slot. So it's really challenging. And you need to find your days and your periods to catch up on that rest. And it means you have to pay more attention to your actual health, like get exercise and try to eat right because you're always on the go, so you always want to grab the fastest thing. So it's a dangerous lifestyle, and we have had conversations around it, not just with poets, but with other artists as well, as to how you could actually balance, how we could actually find ways to strike better balances, but it is very difficult.
It definitely is difficult. Thank you so much for sharing that this morning, because you mentioned, Carnival, but there's also this entire other, of course, portion of the creative life that many people don't realize is affected that same way. Now, we do have somebody to take us to the break. It's a surprise. I mean, we're being serenaded this morning. We've been serenaded by words. We're going to be serenaded by music. But before we do get to that, we do need to say congratulations are in order for you, Mr. Derron Sunday, for the National Poetry Slam. How are you feeling?
I feel good. The semi-final is coming up on the 25th and 26th of March, and the goal is to do some late hours listening to the night and try your best to represent what I think is the highest level of spoken word poetry competition in the region. So it's an honor to be there.
It definitely is. It's an honor to be able to sit down and talk with you this morning. Looking forward to seeing you in the semi-finals and the finals as well. And if you need to catch up on some sleep, there you go. All right, so joining us this morning, we have Mr. David Frank. He's going to be taking us to the break and hopefully maybe just ease us into a touch of sleep.